from the 22 News Broadcast Center. This is 22 News at 5.
22 News is in Washington, where business representatives from Western Massachusetts met at our nation's capital. Welcome to 22 News at 5. I'm Juliana Mazza. Western Massachusetts business leaders are in Washington, D.C. this week. 22 News reporter Kate Walsh is live in Washington after speaking with them throughout the day. I'm live in Washington, D.C., overlooking the Capitol building, and that's the area where we were all afternoon with the affiliated chambers of Greater Springfield and Berkshire County. They're down here not to discuss issues with just themselves, but also with our lawmakers. These business leaders meet every other year here in Washington, D.C. for a 3-day symposium held by Congressman Richard Neal. It's an opportunity to not just speak among themselves about their concerns and ideas, but also with our representatives in Washington. We were there this morning at the Library of Congress as the delegation spoke one-on-one with Senator Elizabeth Warren. They also heard about economic and political polling from presidential pollster Stan Greenberg. Members said they were very grateful for this opportunity.
It's really important for us to be here to have the voice of business heard and to be able to really express our concerns over some of the issues, be it corporate tax rate or Medicare and Medicaid, and the things that are really important to the business community to make sure that our economy remains vibrant.
And in the afternoon, we all went to the Rayburn building where congressional offices are. There, the members spoke with civil rights movement leader Congressman John Lewis of Georgia. Then they had a lengthy conversation with Senator Ed Markey, particularly about the opioid problems in Massachusetts. On 22 News at 5:30, you'll hear from both Senators Markey and Warren on the special message they wanted to share with these business leaders. Live in Washington, D.C., Kate Walsh, 22 News.
Live from the 22 News Broadcast Center, this is 22 News at 5:30.
Local business leaders met with Massachusetts senators in Washington, finding out just how they can improve the economy back home. Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 5:30. I'm Barry Krieger.
And I'm Laura Hutchinson. Western Massachusetts business leaders are in our nation's capital tonight. 22
News reporter Kate Walsh joins us live from Washington, D.C. to tell us what they discussed with our congressional leaders.
The leaders here are members of the affiliated chambers of commerce of Greater Springfield and Berkshire County. This 3-day symposium is all about communication among those leaders and between them and our lawmakers who represent us all down here in Washington. The symposium is held every other year by Congressman Richard Neal. This year, Senator Elizabeth Warren met with the Chamber of Commerce members one-on-one. She heard their concerns and shared with them how she's been addressing problems in the financial market and student debt.
There's $1.2 trillion outstanding right now in student loan debt across America. Think about that. 40 million Americans are dealing with student loan debt.
Senator Ed Markey discussed helping college students by providing more job opportunities so they stay in our state after graduation. He also spoke a while with many chamber members about the opioid problem in our state.
89% of all prescription drugs in the world are consumed by Americans. You got that number? That's amazing, isn't it?
Senator Markey said fixing the opioid problem was one of his top priorities. On 22 News at 6, I'll tell you why these chamber members said this was an important day for everyone in Western Massachusetts. Live in Washington, D.C., Kate Walsh, 22 News.
Live from the 22 News Broadcast Center, this is 22 News at 6.
It was an important day for Western Massachusetts in Washington, D.C. today. 22 News reporter Kate Walsh is live in Washington after spending the day with our business leaders and lawmakers.
I'm live in Washington, D.C., overlooking the Capitol building, where it's there right now that members of the Chambers of Commerce of Greater Springfield and Berkshire County are meeting to discuss a day full of idea sharing with Congressman Richard Neal. He invites them down here to Washington every other year as an opportunity for them to speak directly with our U.S. senators and representatives. Many of the chamber members are leaders in the medical field, utilities, schools, and consulting firms, so they represent a large portion of the people of Western Massachusetts. They spoke in a small group to Senator Elizabeth Warren and Senator Ed Markey about challenges for their business and for their customers and clients.
We have very common challenges in Western Mass. The Springfield area is a little bit more urban than Berkshire County, but we face the same issues with population decline, with job loss, and our challenges are very common. So to spend some time with them like this in an intimate environment for a few days, it's a great opportunity to brainstorm and share strategies.
Lawmakers heard their concerns and also told them what they're working on here in Washington to help residents back in Western Massachusetts. And the topics they discussed ranged from talking about the easing of the student debt burden that many people face in Massachusetts, as well as trying to find a permanent solution to the opioid problem in our state. Live in Washington, D.C., Kate Walsh, 22 News.